What's happened, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more George Michael, and we're going back to his 1987 debut solo album, Faith. And the next tune is Kissing a Fool, which it feels like it's playing off of the idea of acting a fool, but perhaps embracing and indeed kissing someone despite the, silliness or unfortunate aspects of their behavior. So I wonder, whether the fool is sympathetic despite being designated in that way. I wonder whether the fool could be the narrator, perhaps. Either way, it's an enjoyable phrase and one that feels like there's positivity despite the implied or overt critique. So let's find out what it actually is. This is George Michael, Kissing a Fool. The final regular track on his 1987 album Faith, though I do have to point out in this folder that's been made available to me, there is the Shep Pettibone remix of Hard Day, as well as a Last Request, which I think is I Want Your Sex Part 3, but it's like cut off. It just says I Want Your Sex P, which is a bit amusing, but I don't see... Does it say Part 3? Yeah, it is Part 3. Okay, so in the metadata it shows it fully. But in any case, let's listen. This is George Michael. The track is Kissing a Fool, the final regular track on his 1987 album, Faith. Oh. Got some jazzy vibes.
You are far when I could have been your star. People who scares you to death, and from my heart, strange that you were strong enough to even make a start.
Looking at my way
You'll
down.
never find peace of mind till you listen to your heart. People, you can never change the way they feel. Better let them do just what they will. Steal your heart from you. People will always make a lover feel a fool, but you knew I loved you. We could have shown them all. We should have seen love through. In your eyes, cover me with kisses and lies. So goodbye, but please don't take my heart. You are far. I'm never gonna be yours. Pick up the pieces and mend my heart. Maybe I'll be strong enough. I don't know where to start, but I'll never find peace of mind while I listen to my heart. People, you can never change the way they feel. Better let them do just what they want. For they will, if you let them steal your heart. And people will always make a lover feel a fool, but you knew I loved you. We could have shown them all. But remember this, every other kiss that you ever give, long as we both feel when you need the hand of another man, when you really can't surrender. scared you to death, and from my heart, strange that I was wrong enough to think you loved me too.
More breathy than
Guess
part.
you were kissing a fool. You must have been kissing a fool.
People who know the channel for a while know I'm very fond of jazz, and even though that playlist, or a playlist which includes, it's like jazz, blues, and I think soul, there's not nearly enough in there, but ultimately I am a big fan of jazz, and I've heard Alison Moyet do a tune like that, I've heard Cyndi Lauper do a tune like that, I've heard a number of artists go for that sort of classic, 40s club jazz performance style, but that was really fantastic. That was particularly well done, and ultimately it's cool to hear that type of tune in a male voice, because I think, far more often I've heard it in female voices. So, yeah, and it sounds like, basically I'm quite certain he is the fool, and he's saying that the other person has showered them with lies, but also kisses to ameliorate the hurt and keep George's character, if you will, or perhaps, autobiographically George, attached. And the idea is that, like, he can't get away, like, he's going to be waiting for the other person to come home late, perhaps later than he said, perhaps after having spent time with someone else, but it sounds like George is going to be waiting there every time, because he's a fool, and he knows he's a fool, but he knows his weaknesses, and he knows that the other person knows his weaknesses and can sort of give him enough love or reciprocation to keep him in this perpetual state. And also he's saying, like, his heart is doing it. It's not just the other person. It's the idea that, like, I can't help who I want, and this is the person, and no matter what happens, I'm still there. I'm always there, because my heart sort of betrays me in that way. So yeah, it's a tune that fits, like, really well within that mode, because again, a lot of the, like, female vocalist songs in that vein are like, she's brokenhearted, like Caro Emerald. I can't believe I forgot to mention her in that regard. Yeah, it's usually like they're down on their luck, or their man has cheated on them or done something to leave them behind, and there's a lot of songs like that where they're essentially, the broken-hearted ones. So this, like, fit really well into that, but again, because it's a male voice, it sounded different. So, yeah, shout out to George for ending an album with a track like that. I think that's fantastic, and it was an unexpected twist. I didn't see that coming. Once again, looking forward to the Pettibone remix of Hard Day, so we'll be back for that next time. I will try to do a Wham reaction in the same batch. I'll try to keep doing one and one. It may not always happen that way, though I think I should have time to do it tonight.